Hi, good morning. This is today's live on Equa Television International. We're happy that you are able to join us for the show today. Today is Wednesday, and I'm sure you know what we do on Wednesdays. We talk about relationship, and today we are looking at the topic: should opposites marry? Should opposites marry? We want to hear your views, want to hear your opinions based on this topic. Please join us in this discussion. I have with me on the set today engineer Tony J.
Are
Nakali.
you married?
Good morning. Yes, I am.
Did you marry your opposite? Okay, finish introducing the rest.
Joyce Jakada, good morning.
Why are you
Suleiman Sambu,
greeting somebody that's
good
not married? Good morning. Yesterday, Joyce told us that she's taken. Maybe it's by the window, so I don't know that she was taken. I don't know. I don't know. I was praying that Prudence would get, she was actually saying that Prudence soon to be bride. So I say you won't pray for yourself. And I even gave her, I told her an adage in Hausa. Have we started the show? Okay, I told her a saying in Hausa. I said, "Unkuratana maganiza ote makanta." She said she has already.
Oh, great.
So she has a husband.
When
already.
the time is right, you get to know.
That she's taken already. So you are taken by surprise. So you are taken by the wind. Oh, what took you?
No, it's you that is taken by surprise.
So Joyce, the show today says, should opposites
I don't
marry?
know. Why is starting with me?
We want to hear your idea. Should Hassan marry Joyce? We want to hear. You are total opposite. Far apart as America and Nigeria. So let's hear.
I thought you were supposed to be educating me
So what are you doing here?
based on your experience.
Nobody comes here looking for education. We come to give education.
Exactly.
And you are looking for it. So if you are not fit, you leave. Martha, come and sit down.
I remember you saying how that you brought someone and Mama said bad number. Let me leave it there. But then should opposite
So you are bringing my personal secrets on set. We have secrets. So you don't. Me and your mother, we are close. She tells me things about you. I can say it on air.
She dare not.
Okay.
Yes, they should.
So it's good for somebody like Hassan to marry his opposite.
Yes, he's opposite.
Are you Hassan's opposite?
We opposite.
Why are you fanning it?
I don't even know who that is.
Huh?
Well,
I don't know who is that. I don't know. I'm not
You
fami-
only appear
I'm
on the
not
white
familiar
shot.
with those kinds of
You
names.
only appear on the white shot.
I'm not familiar with
Believe me, you only appear on the white shot. Nobody sees your close up on this show. I'm telling you.
Yes, opposite shall marry.
So no should opposite marry.
Yes.
Genuine should opposite marry.
they should.
Okay.
Engineer Tony J. Nakali should opposites
Everybody
marry.
is married to an opposite. Everybody is married to an opposite.
Yes, but it depends.
There's no but.
There's but.
Everybody is married to an
I
opposite.
have a but. I have a but. I have.
Why?
Okay, let's hear your but.
I have.
Always off point. Go ahead.
I have. Like, opposite can marry. We know the popular saying opposite attracts and all. So you get somebody that is cool-headed, and then the another person is like
I heard it.
I hear parents say that a mother was explaining how that their father is the calm person, but both of us cannot be calm. When I'm the
She's
one
a
that
witch.
no, I'm the one that discipline the children, and the father will now call and pet them and all of that. Or you have a situation where one is shy and one is very confident, or you have a situation where one is very intelligent and the other one, not like the person is not intelligent, but maybe probably a
Average.
slow learner, like that. So you can get attracted to each other, you can get married to each other on that ground if you agree to have to mutually respect yourselves. Not the one that you know that this person is not a social person, and you get married to the person and keep abusing the person. I don't know what kind of woman like are you. I married, I'm saying let's go out, and you're saying no, go and buy it and bring it home. If you know that the person's personality and you accept it, then there should be respect for that person. There's a way that you can opposite helps you complement the other person. And also, you can also help the other person be a better version of himself or herself, like on that ground. If there's going to be respect for each person's identity, is fine. But on the case of core values and belief, I feel there has to be compatibility. Like,
You said a but to what I said. You have not explained the but.
that's what I'm saying. The but lies in the
Core value.
core
Who
values.
do you know
Core
that
values.
is married to a person that is not an opposite of the person?
I know a lot of people that are married, and in terms of core values, there's
We are not talking about core values. You say should opposites marry?
then values
Because-
are part of it now.
Part of it.
Yes,
It's not everything
yes.
that forms that word opposite.
Mhm.
Is there anybody that is 100% compatible to his partner? If that's not opposite to you, then I don't know what opposite means.
You said 100%. That means there has to be some level of compatibility. You can't rule out that you are opposite.
The biggest
Core
thing,
values,
the biggest
you are
thing,
opposite.
the biggest thing to you as opposite is the smallest thing to another person.
No, core values are not something that should be the smallest.
That
in
is what you
every
think.
cases or
That
in
is what
every,
you think. That is how
it
you
has
look at
to
it.
be-
No, that is how you look at it.
No, it's a major.
That's how
thing.
you look at it. Okay. Give us example or examples
Your
of
your faith, for example.
Number one.
Your faith is a core value for
Number
me.
one.
Your belief is a core
Number two.
value. So, like, the list goes endless, but the
List
major
them now.
thing
List
is
them now.
your
Don't
faith,
we have people
your
that are
belief.
of a different religion and marrying people of different religion? Don't we have people that we are forced to marry against even their wish and they are opposites?
How is that kind of relationship at the end of the day?
No, but we are
Because
talking about
if-
marriage.
just think
We are
about-
not dissecting
We talked
whether
about
they are living in peace or not, or the reason why they came together. We are talking
we
about
talked
marriage.
about how that belief shapes your identity, and it informs your decision, your actions, and your behaviors. So imagine
About this topic
getting
or
married
on
to-
several other topics.
getting married to somebody that his faith is telling him you should kill, and then your faith is telling you that it is wrong to kill. Like, imagine living. How can two live together as one when
see, that is why I'm saying your perspective about it. That's why you should say your perspective about it. But some people don't care. I gave you an instance on this show one time that somebody beat a lady. He gave her a cut on her eye and she was bleeding everywhere. And we're trying to manage the situation in my friend's house. The wife came with ice block and all of that. I think I said it on the show. But at 4 a.m., she left the house and went back to him. What do you mean? How can you define core values in that situation?
that's why she received the beating and the
That, you see, that's why I'm telling you that, Jemima, what works out for me and my wife, it will not work out for you and your husband.
it's the intention of marriage for you to be receiving beating. It's because there's, like, your values, your belief is as far as night and day. That is why
You
every
didn't
day
put
you're
apart. It's far apart.
the intention of marriage is not for you to go and be receiving beating.
Are we defining the intention of marriage, or we are defining
The
if
essence.
opposite should marry? And I say everybody that is married to an opposite. One way or the other, if you look at it, okay, let's even say you don't know anything, but you have a parent that is married to another parent of yours. Are they 100% compatible?
They aren't.
Give us instances where they are not.
No.
Are they living in peace? In most cases, yes, because that's how it is in every home.
In most cases, but you see, those things that make them, the incompatibility always brings issues to them.
Is that not the reason why I say no home? Nobody is married to somebody that is not an opposite. Everybody is an opposite of his partner.
Not 100%.
What is Joy saying? I don't understand. Not 100%. Because I am saying that, Jemima, you love something, your husband doesn't like it, but because he's married to you, oh, my wife loves this, I don't necessarily eat it, but let me pick it for her. I don't eat shawarma. But anytime I go to Abuja, there is a particular place my wife says, I want to go and eat their shawarma. I don't even like watching people eat it. I'm telling you, all these things that come out. I don't know what they put inside. It comes out. Sometimes you see, a cabbage. Is it cabbage they put inside? Looking like it's trying to escape, but they bring it back and all that. I don't like it. That's an opposite of me. But she likes it, and because I love her, I get it for her.
Do you share the same belief?
We share the same belief, but not 100%.
The same faith?
The same faith, but our belief within the same faith is not 100%.
But you share the same faith.
We share the same faith. I'm a Christian. My wife is a Christian. There are certain things I bring. She says, this doctrine, I'm not taking it. Of course. She tells me, she says she doesn't understand God the way I do. But this one, I'm here to believe you. Is that not an opposite?
No, I just asked the question. I can't argue.
You are hard of understanding.
I can't argue on that.
You see, because I like it that you believe something different and you are holding on to what you believe. But if Jesus does not return by the time you are married,
you are really anticipating that marriage and how it's going to be.
Who cares whether you want to be married or you want to remain single for the rest of your life? I'm just saying. Because there are a lot of things.
You have told me several times that when I get there.
The reason why I'm telling you is because you don't want to believe the reality that exists within marriage.
No, your own idea of reality, not.
Just because Jemima is quiet does not mean she doesn't have anything to say. Just because she's quiet, there is nobody in my opinion and in my idea of compatibility. There are people that look at almost every man. This is going to define almost every man. Your husband looked for a few things in you, and he decided that he's going to tolerate the rest. That's how every man is. I look at a few things in a woman, I will tolerate the rest, because there is no woman in the world that is 100%. The same way with the man. And even when you seem to be compatible before marriage, certain craziness will show up after marriage. And you start wondering, where is this coming from? Why are you looking at me like I don't understand the topic? You are looking at me like I don't understand the topic.
No.
Because
if you are talking about opposites, she said something, opposites attract. There are some things you say before you get married. I'm not really into kuka. Told me and kuka. I prefer other soups, but not kuka. But my wife is a lover of my girlfriend is a lover of kuka. Oh, and she loves it. The way you explain how she loves kuka before marriage. When you get married, it will get to a point where you almost ban cooking kuka in your own pots. Because some of these realities, they grow alongside your happiness. If you want to be a happy person in marriage, pray that you don't have troubles. Because if you don't have troubles, you'll never be happy. What is making you happy for 15 years without fight? Straight.
Compatibility.
That is it. When you come back, like, for example, Joyce is married to us and they fight. And they Sharia. What is Syria? Settle. Right? And they settle after they fight. They are happier than before they fought. That's how marriage is. And even when you want to have, is sweeter and better after you have settled your fight.
No, so that they can understand.
You want to understand. You will never understand this in Jesus' name. Do you understand? Let them that have ears hear what they.
It's a rema.
When
It's a rema.
Please,
If you are not
we
there.
have viewers, so let them have an understanding of what you are talking. It's not for me, it's for people watching.
No, those are in the same rema.
let them that have ears hear what Tony Nakale is saying. After that, you see, she's just.
advocate is pleading on.
Do you understand? After that, it's even sweeter. You understand? Imagine that you have been away from all the activities that make you happy, and then suddenly you are coming back to the activities and to your regular love life. there is celebration in that activity. There is joy that the marriage did not die while you were living together but away. You know, you can be living together, but husband is away, wife is away, but you are in the same house and all that. So it's a whole new experience. Anytime you have the opportunity to love a woman as a man or to love a man as a woman, don't think of perfection. But think of what you can contribute, like a cross you will carry, to making the man the kind of man you want him to become.
Something that I'm just bothered. Something that the intention is for you to enjoy. Something beautiful.
How can you enjoy something you have not worked on?
Like, and then I'll deliberately decide that I'm going in to carry cross.
Okay, no. You see, the carry cross is not a wrong carrying of cross. They that are married, Apostle Paul said, shall have troubles. Mm-hmm. That is a cross already.
Of course.
That is a cross already. Because that compatibility that you are talking about, there are some things that you are not compatible with.
Sure.
Or about. And you are not comfortable with certain things that are not, because you are not compatible.
So what should be the compatible level, like by percentage?
You see, that was why I said earlier that when I look at Joyce, I'll be like, wow, I think I'm in love with this lady. And then I start getting close to her, and she starts being the Joyce that she is, and I'm noticing, but I still love her. And maybe I love the way she loves God. Just maybe. That's the reason. And then she calls me up. Please don't leave the house without praying. She calls me up. How many times did you pray yesterday? She calls me up. What did you eat? And then I'm showing up at Joyce's with a wrinkled shirt, and it's not even washed, and she doesn't even care. But all she's about is my spiritual life, and I've been having cravings to live where I am spiritually, to move up. Don't you think that is I wanted to use the word on TV, but it's the wrong word. Don't you think I should disregard other things and focus on all these things that are in line or in consonance with what I want to become? Mm-hmm. Certain things can be worked upon.
Yeah.
Like there are women that don't care about how clean you are really as a man. Mm-hmm. I know a friend who can just go back home and spray perfume and or on sweat and all that. And I was marrying who will love that kind of man. Eventually he had a wife. He married her. They are living happily. And he's still like that. He's still like that. It's not like he doesn't shower at all. But maybe if he does once in a day, he feels there's no amount of dirt that can make him do it before 24 hours. You understand? So he has to wait for another morning.
I know one that will always complain because his wife makes him to go and shower. So he will always complain, do I look dirty? Do I smell?
Me, it's not like I like showering. Like it kills me to shower. It's because I have to. It's not for my own sake. I can endure anything that is coming out of my own body. But people that are sitting next to me, I'm just considering, and the day I stop considering you, believe me, I will show up here the way, as natural as I am. Cameramen, we set camera and leave the studio because they can't be here. All these ACs will stop working. But you see, when you talk, did she pack her things and leave the house? She still loves her man. She might be working on it. That thing, that cross that we're talking about, go and shower, my dear. There are times my wife will say, even in the living room, we're sitting down. But that's one of them. Kazam Taba. She'll leave the chair and go. She'll tell me that even in the presence of my children, who the son king wanka kamon babonku. When I was married newly, and I asked her, I said, is this how often you shower? If this woman has sweat like this, she cleans it. If she stands up, believe me, she's coming out fresh. Naturally, the town is hot. If you want to garni for your jiki, then the weather has to change for you to garni. But if that weather in Abuja is like that, wanka nawa arana. My sisters used to call her me wanka. I'm telling you. My sisters used to call her me. It pained me that we went to Lafayette. I was showering twice a day. What for? What for? In the night, nobody is with me in the room, but I have to shower. I was asking myself, who am I showering for? For your health and others, please shower as often as you can.
And being with the opposite makes you grow because areas that
Now
you
she's talking.
struggle, areas that you
Is Ima
struggle.
watching this show? He doesn't miss
Hopefully.
Wednesdays. It's not because he likes the show. He wants to hear if nonsense is said about him.
Okay, before I continue, when you talked about shawarma, I laughed hard because he does not like gote.
Who is he?
My husband.
Okay.
He does not like gote. That's vegetable porridge, right? He doesn't like it, and his idea is he ate a lot of it while growing up,
Why should he
And-
come to his own house where he's sponsoring
and
the
he
feeding and
doesn't
be
like
eating?
it. But I don't mind taking that like on a daily basis. So sometimes
Does he
comes
get angry
back.
when you take it?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He keeps watching and wondering
Why?
what is the motivation.
You too, you take it too much that one day you...
So I can actually relate to someone being the direct opposite of you, but you find a way to just work together. So sometimes when I want to make it, I find a way to, okay, how can it look different that will make him want to take it? And a lot of times he will come back, oh, okay, what did you cook? And if he sees it, he just turns and come back because he was expecting this aroma should be for something else.
Oh, but eventually it's for... Unfortunately, to be for gote.
So the idea is
You are not a nice
the
person.
compromise.
Why don't you take the gote to the backyard where he will not smell it?
No, the idea here is the compromise. Okay, this one likes this other person likes this. But when you come together, this one is willing to compromise. Okay,
That's what
instead
makes
of
you opposite,
instead of
but-
doing it every day, since I
Yeah.
like it every day, let me do it twice. Instead of, okay, if you can't take this
Honestly,
much,
I don't
take
have a
little
problem.
more.
Jemima, I don't have a problem if my wife cooks what she wants to eat every day. Cook mine. And sometimes she will tell me, I've said this on this show several times, she will tell me, find food I eat, oh, I made this. Sometimes I'm close to the house, but I'll just turn, go somewhere, look for what I can eat, and come back. And anytime she says that, if my children are aware, they will say, whatever you eat, bring home. We also want to eat. You know, sometimes this marriage thing, if you want to fight about everything, you are fighting about who your partner is. So you are going to fight as long as you live together.
True.
So if you don't want to fight, tolerate certain things that are not detrimental to your home. Tolerate them. You know, like you come back home. If I say this, can I go home? If you come back home and they're losing hair, and instead of like packing it, they just leave it the way it was loosened, and you have to ask. That's why I keep quiet. I'm like, wow, wow. And because if you say, why is it like that? They'll say because there's no money. So sometimes you just leave it the way you see it. It's not your own head.
Yeah. So
My wife has told
Getting-
me I'm not sleeping on her bed till I shower. It was cold. She said, why is that? I said, I'm not sweating. I'm not. She said, Bazaka, how good number. Tun safe kafta yanzu ka dawo ka ce sai dai kon kai wanka wani wuri ni wanka ina saboda Allah. She said ba gado na ba. So I said to Asam ruwa. Answer na yi wanka sai ce yanzu how do you feel? I said I feel terrible and I was lying.
of course.
And the idea is that if water, anytime I shower, I wash my hair. If water touches my hair, I have a dryer. If I don't dry it, I can't sleep. It keeps dripping on my
Of
neck. The
course.
pillow is wet and all of that. Sometimes that's the reason. And I can't shower and leave my head. Water must touch it. So sometimes my reason is not like I'm dirty. Men are always not fans of...
So it brings about growth.
of course.
Yes, because you complement
Solo has
each
refused
other.
to say anything on
Like
this show.
Joyce said earlier.
Solo
on,
has refused to say anything.
he
on this.
will.
He will. Okay.
You
My brother, you
complement-
will.
You complement each other. Where this one has a weakness, the strength is coming in, and then you are open to many other areas that would help your personal growth as well. So at the end of the day, you don't really see the opposite that was there initially. At the end of the day, people get married, and after a while, you'll be wondering, okay, were these people siblings before? Because they don't just look alike, but they act alike. They do a lot of things alike. Does it mean that they don't have personal struggles that they still struggle with? They do, but because they have a way of complementing each other, compromise comes in, understanding also comes in, so it makes a lot of things easier for the marriage. So should opposite marry? Yes, they should, if they are willing to work on it at the end of the day.
There's an if.
Yes, if they will not work, then there is a problem at the end of the day. Even those that are not opposite, the similar ones, if they get married to each other, there has to be an if. There is always
Joyce
a
will
condition.
always shy away from this question when I ask her. Anytime I ask her, she shies away. Even when I ask off camera. But maybe God will help me today for her to answer.
No, let's have also.
Let's
Joyce.
Solomon
make his
Sambo talk.
point.
Joyce, what kind of man do you want to marry?
Please take the mic close to your mouth.
Jemima is talking to you.
Somebody that we share core values.
Somebody that.
We share core values.
What are your core values?
Honestly, it's personal. I wouldn't want to. Somebody we share the same faith, the same belief. Our values are at least. Yeah, there are some other things we can work on.
Somebody
Yeah,
that
but core values,
cannot make you
there
cry.
should be compatibility. as
Somebody
far
that
as
cannot
core
make you
values.
cry.
Cry, care. Why would you marry somebody and be making the person cry?
Jemima, have you ever cried as a married woman?
Sure.
Did you leave the house?
No.
Yeah.
You will cry when you're married.
I will not cry. Jesus name.
Let me not even say you. You must cry.
I will not cry.
He's a
You
threat.
must cry when you are married.
I will not cry in Jesus' name.
It's a
Cry
statement of fact. You must cry.
again. Why?
Don't worry.
So I will thank you.
No. He might even be the best reverend. But you will cry. You will cry. I'm telling you, you will cry.
Cried.
Eh?
You cried.
I'm a man. I'm talking to you as a woman. Joyce, you know, if it will shock you that I hardly cry. It will shock you that I hardly cry.
So you
I
had
think-
reasons to cry?
I think the last time I cried was when my father died. And I was trying to explain what he said to me like 3-4 days before he passed. And before that time that he died, that's 8 years ago. And before that time that he died, before the time that I cried when he died, I can't remember the last time before that time. It's difficult for me to cry. I don't know why. Do I cry? Yes, I'm a human being, but it's difficult. But recently I was in tears because I watched the video online and it really touched me. I saw how kids were sleeping without food on the, I don't even want to remember it, on the streets, and there's a guy that goes around to give them food. It's a struggle for them to even wake up. And then finally when they wake up, he gives them food and they're like, who is bringing food? And they collect, you see how they eat it. And once they are done, you see them playing. And then the same guy, I think he's a Ghanaian also, the same guy goes to old people's homes and then he pleads with them, they wear uniform, then they sweep out everything that is in their house. And then they put new mattress, but the same house, they don't change anything, they just bring out and then they burn dirty things that people were living in, sleeping on and all that. So that was what brought tears to my eyeball. I didn't do no like you
Is
do.
that what me I would do?
You even roll on the floor.
I will not cry.
You will call me if pride will allow you. You will call me and say, Uncle T, why didn't you tell me that even this will make me cry? Joyce, just not eating your food for 2 days, you will die.
Why would you not eat my food?
You don't know. You don't know. These are eventualities that you need to open room for, and you need to tell yourself that when it you are getting ready for it, not because it's a negative thing, but you are telling yourself that when it comes, I should have the ability to deal with it, even when I cry. Not if, even when I cry, because in crying,
Somebody is hungry and they're not eating. How is that one your business? That was
Okay.
Solomon.
he's not hungry. Oh, he'll come back well fed. He will leave you and your food.
No.
Okay.
My husband will not leave me with my food.
Yeah.
I feel this idea of compatibility, like
Prof!
when people talk about
He's
compatibility,
taking his time to talk. Go ahead, we are listening, sir.
The question I ask, in your own context, what what is compatibility? Because for me, if you take compatibility to be like, okay, everything about you must align before you stay together, then I don't see where the Bible is talking about us being tolerant with one another, us being understanding with one another. There will be no point for that.
There will be no for better for us.
You understand? So based on that,
There will
for
be no
me-
for better for us.
for me, I see it based on understanding. Because if you're talking about opposite, this one is fair, this one is dark, and they agree to come together. This one is tall, this one is short, and they agree to come together. You talk about what they like, also will not be the same. This person is a fashion person. This person is just taking it cool. This person love English wear. This person is traditional. Like, they are just opposite people when it comes to things they like and how they want to live their life. But now you coming together, I look at it this way. Okay, what is the reason why you want to settle with the person in the first place? You must ask that question. What's the reason? If your reason do not align with the purpose of God when He designed marriage, then at that point I would say you people are just coming together, and the issue of compatibility in its sense, the way it's presented by the world, that is what you will live with. And that is when you find conflict. That's when you find all sorts of things happening in the house, because the foundation, the reason of the two coming together is based on what they like. And if you check it very well, you will just find out that it's just all about two people coming together to promote I. Two people coming together to promote me. Because it's me. It's me. I love Gote. Nobody will tell me otherwise. That's how I'm being brought up. 25 years of me before meeting you. This is what I've been taking. And I love it, for instance. Right? And then the man, he's saying, me, I'm a poundo person. And then she don't know how to go to the motor to even pound in the first place. And then he's saying that's what he wants. And some people will even tell you, even 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock, he can wake you up and say, this is what he wants. But understanding covers all of this. Okay, this is what we want to build, us coming together as husband and wife. Replicate God's idea of marriage. If you look at it, how do God treat us? We are not perfect. He reasons with us. Even before we sin, He will understand with us. He forgives us. Because He knows. And then He's saying, I want you to replicate my kind of standard from where you are coming. From the marriage, the two of you, to your kids. And then the totality as a family. We want to see God. And that's when you see a lot of understanding in family that truly love God. The father is understanding with the woman. The woman is understanding with the man. The two parents are understanding with the children. Sometimes you leave what you want as parent and go with what the children want. You understand? So if you talk about compatibility and the way the world is projecting, that's when you see when it comes to issue of promoting feminism, right? The woman is saying, this is who I am. I don't want to stay under a man to tell me this. While she look for a man to solve certain problems that only a man can solve. Do you understand? So you will just see people promoting some things that the world want people to adopt, and then you hear people saying, no, somebody cannot just come and tell me nonsense. Some people, that's how they put it, outrightly.
When you made that point, I laughed. You know why? Because we use some of these sentences, they are now cliches. Opposite attracts.
Mm.
You know how terrible a person you are, and you're not even ready to work on yourself, and yet you don't want your like.
Mm.
You want to go for somebody that has worked on him or herself, so that you end up with. See, there are instances of guys, like men that grew up in the city, living some kind of lifestyle that even themselves they are not happy with. And then when it gets to marriage, they will be like, no, I cannot marry my like somebody like me. I need a girl I need a good girl. Maybe this guy have been living a promiscuous life. And then when it comes to marriage, no, I cannot marry somebody like me. No, they ask him, what about this your girlfriend now? He tells, no, I cannot feel marry, I don't feel wife this one. Like this person cannot birth my children. This is somebody that is not ready to work on the part of him that he's not happy with, like being promiscuous. And then you go to the village, and then you are sorting after a girl that has not or is not living that kind of life, like promiscuous lifestyle. You get married to her because you feel this is the kind of lady that should raise my children, and you continue with your lifestyle. Now, when I talked about you considering core values even in marrying your opposite, I mean, when you have, they say variety is the spice of, like, imagine both of you are the quiet persons, like reserve and all, and then getting married, like how will the home be? But if you have one that is more social, I mean, initiates jokes, gist and all of that, the other person, you talk about growth, it's like an avenue for the other person to learn. And Engineer Tony talked about certain behaviors or certain attitudes that can be worked on. Like if the person is even showing willingness to learn and to adjust, that's not a problem. You should marry your opposite. But when it comes to core values, there are certain things that some people, they are very important to them, but they disregard it and still marry their opposite. And when they get married, it becomes an issue. When you talk about opposite, the source of conflict is disagreement. Anywhere in the world, the major source in defining conflict is disagreement. So imagine getting married and you know that this thing matters so much to you. It was you people that discussed on sexual compatibility. You know you have high libido. You know sex means so much to you. And then you are marrying a lady that is a no-no for her. Like no matter how you try to work on, she does not. You have discussed itself. But because you feel, no, I don't want to marry a girl that is promiscuous. And then you marry that girl, and after marriage, you end up going after ladies that are promiscuous or ladies that are ready to do like whatever you want them to do, engage any kind of style they want to engage in. So, and that was why I was talking about core values earlier on. There are things that matter. This thing is relative.
You see, Joyce,
because like Engineer Tony said that core values to me might not be core values to another person. So understand who you are and what are the things that matter most to you, so that you don't go out there and end up with somebody that is totally opposite to you, and then every day you are disagreeing. It was here we still talked about intellectual compatibility. How that you're seeing things from this angle, and the person, no, please, like, I'm not ready to. You're telling the person, you need to further your education, you need to grow, you need to build this business. I mean, don't rely just on me. Can we help the family this way? Can we? And the person say, me, you know, I cannot engage in this, I cannot do this. And then it becomes a problem. Each day you're complaining about your wife, you're complaining about your husband. My husband is a lazy person, he does not bring food. But before you got married, you said, since me, I'm hardworking, and him is a lazy person, I can excuse him. Like, we can compliment each other. And then you get married, and it becomes an issue. In the night he wants to touch you, you are saying, did you bring food that you want to touch me? So you need to understand your person. Don't just go with the trend or with the cliche. Oh, opposite attract. So that's just it. For what are the things that matters to you? What are the things that you know are unchangeable, like your faith, your belief, that you are holding so tight to, and you know you cannot compromise on. These are things that you should also look out for. But other attitudes or behaviors that you think you can tolerate or condone. You talk about food. I mean, somebody will tell you that you will not use the pot you cook this thing to cook food for me, and it becomes an issue. Or you cook and person say, I will not eat because you made gote inside it. But for another person, I mean, if my wife likes that, why not? You are taking your gote and he's seated right next to you eating his kerkeshi or something, vegetable soup. So let's really sit down and reflect. What are the things that matter? moves
See,
to you
Joyce,
before you take certain
it
decisions.
starts from, because we are talking about marriage. You say should opposite marry. Why are you getting married? And if somebody is very irresponsible and is coming to you to marry you, and then you are saying you will marry the person, for me, it's a matter of choice.
Have you heard the story
No,
of the pastor
see,
that married a lady he
what-
got from the club? He met in the club. He knows he didn't meet her in the club. He's a pastor. He was a student pastor, and he knows this lady and he likes her. But the girl is into drugs. She does club, like she's living promiscuous life. But he still insisted that
That he would change her, right?
Yeah, as per he was hopeful she was going to change. He made her he made her the pastor's wife. He got married.
It's me.
Mrs. Panya is watching you. She has memed. Okay, this one is not Mrs. Panya now.
So he
See,
got
Joyce.
married to the lady,
Joyce.
and then she would, while they are married, and as a serving pastor, this lady will abscond from the house. She'll go for clubs 2 days, 3 days. She's not in the church, at home. Even the members got to, and then she's also a kleptomaniac. She will just see you with this, and let me see now, and she will abscond with your phone. And so it was becoming an issue. People are talking.
Is she abscond with offering?
Pastor's wife.
Because that's the only problem they will have with her in that church.
He kept trying. Sometimes he goes to the club, he looks for her, carried her. I mean, this is not a movie. Eventually, she absconded. Totally, she left the house. I mean, he was looking at, probably I'm opposite to her, I can help her. And that's why earlier I was saying core values. There are certain things that compatibility is key. To just avoid, it's not like you might not be able to stay, but conflict becomes inevitable in that home. Like a constant thing. That's not to say that other people that get married don't have issues.
Joyce, you
But
see,
that one becomes
you
food of
see,
the
ba,
day.
for me, I will say, for them to agree, somebody is looking for a housemate, not marriage. Because the reason why some people marry, that's why the conflict, people just put it. What is happening is not really people. What they are looking is they are just looking for a housemate, a roommate,
A mother.
or somebody that can just give birth. Like example you gave, somebody will come from city and say he's just looking for a one lady in the village. That's the reason why some men like that see women as just property, things they can just keep, use, give orders left, right, and center. Do you get that? Just it. Because if you are talking marriage, and then truly the two have their own reason why they want to settle together, because they want to bring the idea of God, then definitely, it's not that you will rule out
Likes and dislikes.
likes and dislike, but you will see that understanding the way God understands with us. We are not perfect, but he understands with us. He provides. That's how God wants to see happening in marriage. The man understanding with the woman, seeing her as an opposite. The woman seeing the man, understanding with him, seeing him as opposite. And then they carrying the project of God.
And don't forget,
And then
marriage is about companion.
Because some people will just tell you, I've just graduated, I finished NYC, I want to get married. My father is disturbing me. When are you bringing this?
I'm
When are
tired
we
of
eating
cooking.
rice? How do you expect compatibility and understanding in that kind of marriage? Why the reason why she married simply because she's running away from the troubles of her dad and her mom in the house, running from house chores. She want to have her own house. She want to control, because in the house there are certain things that they eat. She feel no. When she get married in her own house, she will decide what to eat.
How will you
that's
want
the
to
reason.
get married to run away from house
That's
chores?
the reason. That's the reason. Some people marry. You can't run away from this. Let's be truthful. You understand? What is the reason why you are getting married in the first place? That will solve the issue
Honestly,
of
I agree
accountability.
with what Solo is saying, because if you sit with people and you hear the reasons, some people will tell you, I just need to get away from home. They are killing me with work in that house, at least.
So what are you expecting you will go and do?
That's why
you see,
some
we have
people
been
getting
talking
married,
about-
they will ask they should bring a housemate for
Help.
her. House help.
That's why we have been talking about education. Education, not going to school, but somebody schooling you about a venture. You're about to go into marriage. I don't know if Joyce's mother sits her down to explain to her the sweetness and the bitterness in marriage. I don't know. Or the mother I know, she tries her best. It's just if you are stubborn in life. Generally, I'm speaking now. Before you think, if you are stubborn in life, you are stubborn already. If you don't want to listen, you don't want to listen. But I know parents who try to keep their children and tell them, look, don't be saying his shoe is old, his belt has cut. That might be the husband. I say, Mama lekia. You even rub it over my, God forbid, They bring one, you say his hair is not growing. They bring another one, you say he doesn't have car. They bring another one, you say he's always riding bike. They bring another one, you say he's keke rider.
Or the one that used to bath.
You see?
To bath once a day.
You see? Meanwhile, my friend that works with this distribution company, Jed, NEPA, electricity, two of them were sharing bills. You know how do you share bill? They call the other one, they say you have become commissioner. Yes. That's how he became commissioner.
Wow.
He's still sharing bill. So you see, maybe the other, if he doesn't miss today's life, but he knows who I'm talking about. Maybe, and he tried and not a lady. She said she cannot marry somebody that is sharing bill. He's a commissioner now in a very big ministry. So what will you say? Some of these things, Joyce really made a point that was very, very vital. Just because you think you can bring somebody. Of course, nobody is shaped exactly the way you want until you marry. You do some panel beating, you do some slapping, some kicking, some rababababaya kababa. Because some of them is only by praying in tongues that they can live. So, but jokes aside, you cannot marry a woman and think she has been completely walked upon. The same way you cannot marry a man and think he's completely walked upon. You have to work on your husband. You have to work on your wife. There are women that will say, if you eat, you must carry plates. As a husband, that's how my mother trained me. She's not doing it because she's controlling the husband. She's doing it because of where she's coming from. There is a woman that will say, today I will dress bed, tomorrow you dress bed. Me, whether bed is dressed or is not dressed, if I lie down, except sleep does not come. If I'm in a hotel, I make them do it. But if I'm in my house, I don't care. You can't call me a dirty person just because I want to sleep on a bed that is not made. No. It works for me, fine. If you want to dress your own, dress it. If I come and meet it dress, I can sleep on it. It's fine, I don't care. There are certain things that Tony Nakali cannot talk about. Because in the marriage, you will talk and talk and talk and talk. Yet, what you're talking about is not done. You come back, you want to park your car. There is bucket in your parking space. Or you come back, there is bucket in your living room. Your wife is not even aware. One of your childs will come and carry bucket and drop it. And it's not intentional. Maybe they wanted to drop the bucket outside, but they just saw something they needed to pick. And then they forgot that these things, if you keep talking about them in marriage, you suffocate yourself. So you sit down and you discuss things that are not what really are making you angry. You discuss generally about life. Then it will take care of all of these small things, these little things that you always talk about. Unfortunately, our time is fast spent. But I just feel if we are talking about should opposites marry, it's yes and no. But like I said earlier, like I correctly said earlier, there is nobody you meet that it was not an opposite of the other person when they met and now married. Compromises. You compromise on little things. There are some men especially, we are so egotistical that we don't feel we are the ones that should come down. We feel, no, as a man, whatever I say is what she should do. That is what is expected. But then, as an understanding man, shouldn't you exercise some discretion on all these laws? You live in a house like the wife is in a prison. There are times to come out. There are times to stay in. There are times to turn on the TV. There are times to turn it off. There are times to shower. There are times not to. There are times to cook there. No. Let everybody enjoy in the house. But you let them know that this liberty should not be taken for granted. I just want you to be happy, but don't overdo it. There's nobody that is not compromising for the other. If not, all the marriages we know, your father is compromising, your mother is compromising, mine are, yours are, everybody's. So I think even us, when we come, we should compromise. We should compromise. While we compromise, we try to straighten the bent stick. While we compromise.
And and in compromising, remember not to be unequally yoked.
Well,
And even though you didn't have rights to say that because you're not married, don't have anything to say about it. Solo, please speak. Say something that will counter.
It is the idea of God for us to live in peace. And living in peace require a lot from us. That means you overlook a lot of things with the heart of love. But whoever you're compromising for should not take that for granted. That is why if you take God for granted after saving you and you continue in sin, the last day there's a repercussion for it. So don't take for granted when someone show you love and he's compromising for the sake of the growth and for the sake of the home.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Engineer Tony Jenakale. Joyce Jakada, thank you.
For
Solomon Sambo.
No, for what exactly? Somebody that came out was saying all sorts of things. I don't want to use words. All sorts of things.
Was that the one that said
you
it
say
looks
thank
like
you.
I don't understand the topic?
Solomon
Thank you for
Sambo,
what?
thank you.
Jemima, thank you for coming. You made valid points on the show. Solo, you are doing well. You made valid
Thank
points.
you.
Thank you.
Should
What about
opposite should
What about who?
opposites marry? What
Was she
do
on
you
set?
think?
This closing has been tampered with. The lines have disappeared.
Let me be quiet, Jemima, so that you can close the show in peace and harmony and tranquility.
The lines have been tampered with.
It is all dependent on your understanding. How much are you willing to compromise in that marriage? Your decisions should be made based on that partner that you are settling down with. First of all, why do you even want to marry? So these questions are very vital for you to make in deciding who you want to settle down with. Thank you so much for doing this with us. It was a lovely discussion. Until we come your way tomorrow, do have a blessed day. Bye.